Hi, this is Katy Zamer from creativeescapes.blogspot.com, and today I'm going to show you the basics of cutting a two-layer card. Now this is a very simple way to cut a layered card, but I get a lot of questions on how do you know what size to make your layers, how do you know how to cut it. So my basic rule of thumb is to cut each layer a 1/4 inch smaller than the previous layer. So I get a nice 1/4 inch border around the outside of each layer. So to start, I'm starting with Bashful Blue cardstock, 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock. And either way, if you cut it this way in the middle or the other way in the middle, so if you cut it on the 8.5 by 11 or 8.5 side or the 11 side, you're going to get a standard size card. So with this side, I'm cutting it on my 11-inch side, so I'm cutting it at 5.5, which gives me 2 card bases. If I cut it on the 8.5 side, I'm cutting it at 4.25, so I'm just cutting that number in half, and it's going to give me, again, 2 card bases. Okay, I'm going to move that out of the way. So my next layer, I'm going to cut it 5.25 by 4. So you're going to get 4 layers out of one sheet of cardstock. So 5.25, which is a 1/4 inch smaller than your card base, by 4 inches, which again is a 1/4 inch smaller. Okay. And then you have your neutral. This is the part that I'm going to stamp on. And I'm going to make this 5 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And you're going to see for each of the layers you're going to have some scrap left over. So don't throw that away because you can always use scrap for something. And to cut all of this down, I'm using my Stampin' Trimmer. This is a wonderful tool that Stampin' Up! Has made, and it's wonderful because they listened to us and they did exactly what we want. So it has all the bells and whistles that we're looking for. And all I've done, I've already started, I cut an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock in half. So here is I did it on the 11-inch side. So what I did, put my paper through, and I cut it at 5.5. Okay, so I put it right down here, sliced it off, cut it at 5.5. That's my card base. Then I have my first layer. So this is, again, this is an 8.5 by 11. I've already cut it once, but I need to cut it down to 5.25. So this is like my second cut. 5.25. Oh, it's slipping on me here. 5.25 by 4, because again I'm going down a 1/4 inch. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. And then my neutral, I'm going to take my Whisper White and I'm going to cut it at 5 inches. By 3 3/4 inches. I don't know about you all, but ever since I started stamping 14 years ago, I've gotten better at math, at least with measurement. So I can say that I'm doing math every time I'm in my stamp room. That works, right? So I'm going to move this aside. So now I have my 3 layers for my basic card. So I'm going to take my bone folder, just fold my card base. This gives it a nice crisp fold. You don't want wrinkles, none of us do. Okay, so this gets rid of any wrinkles. And what this does, let me see if I can center it for you. This gives you a 1/4 inch around, whoops, a 1/4 inch around the outside of each of your layers. And that's your basic card. You can turn it either direction. And then just to give you an idea of what a finished product can look like, I have our card right here. So I hope this has helped you get an idea of how to make a basic card. Again, there are tons of ways out there to cut your paper. This is just one of them. It's very simplistic, very basic. I hope you'll be able to pause this video and get down crafting and get stamping and making some of those cards. Pause it, see what the dimensions are, but keep in mind that rule of thumb, kind of a 1/4 inch smaller on each layer, and you'll be good to go. So again, if all of the products I used are Stampin' Up! Products, If you're interested in purchasing any of those products, please go to my website at creativeescapes.blogspot.com to check it out. And I look forward to seeing you next time.